for today, maybe we're going to have to do
me
some of
busy
that.
once again, especially as we go through this evening, and then again early tomorrow morning. Another concern for some areas where we could be dealing with severe weather. Primary concerns will be some damaging winds, but as we've seen over the past week, can't rule out the hail. We can't even rule out an isolated tornado that will try to form. So I'm going to talk about that and all of that timing in just a few moments. I want to take you down to Sarasota right now, where it's partly cloudy. It actually has been a beautiful start to the morning. Along the immediate coast, we are starting to see a few clouds build in off the Gulf of Mexico. So that is actually clouding things up and not making it as bright and beautiful as it was just about an hour or two ago, but it's also still allowing conditions to warm up with that southwest wind. We're already seeing some spots down to the southwest bumping into the lower 80s as we speak. Back up towards the bay and even through the Nature Coast, we're still staying in the upper 70s, but give it some time. That warming trend is on the way. I think we'll see daytime highs get pretty close to near 87, 88 degrees around the immediate coast, but once we get to the highest part of that temperature, we will be seeing those rain chances increase, and that's all going to be moving in off the Gulf of Mexico. But the further you are away from the water, we will see high temperatures actually trying to get close to 90, 91 degrees. That will primarily be in our inland locations. But let's talk about how things will change, especially for our boaters. Maybe you know someone who's out on the boat right now. Make sure they have a heads up for some deteriorating conditions through the second half of the day. Conditions will become choppy pretty quickly. Winds are about 5 to 10 miles per hour right now, but they will dwindle, they'll bump up, I should say, to near 15 to 25 knots. And that's something that will really bump up our seas 3 to 5 feet, going from choppy to rough very quickly. And that will continue all through tomorrow as well. You can already see that the cloud cover is starting to pick up right ahead of this initial wave. This is actually going to struggle to hold together. It's already starting to show some areas of weakening, especially the storm that's about 90 miles off the coast. That will weaken. So we will get a few light showers that will try to brush the coast, but that's not the big show. That's not what we're concerned about. It's actually all this energy that's still pushing through the northern and central portions of the Gulf of Mexico. That disturbance is heading our way, and that is what's giving us a slight risk. This is a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale to be dealing with storms that could produce damaging winds. Maybe an isolated tornado, it just can't be ruled out. Possibly some damaging large hail, especially as we get closer to this afternoon and through the early evening hours. Wind will be the highest concern we do have. That could be 58 miles per hour or higher. That's severe criteria. But again, when you have that type of dynamic in our atmosphere, we just can't rule out the potential for an isolated brief tornado or some spots where hail could be an issue, but I actually think that's going to be a little bit closer towards the East Coast later today. So let's talk about your high resolution future radar, because as mentioned, that first wave of rain is going to dwindle earlier in the afternoon. But here we go. I want to take you through the mid-afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock. It's this leading edge right here that is going to be the most problematic for us. This is going to give us the better potential for those strong damaging winds, not only torrential rainfall, but frequent cloud-to-ground lightning and that possibility of a few spin-ups that could be within those more embedded cells. But this weakens as it moves to the south and to the southeast through sunset and pushes to the southeast by late tonight. Then there's indication we got round 2 that's going to be brewing through the overnight hours. So let me take you through a more long-range forecast, and this is actually trying to drive in the timing a little bit earlier, but overnight through early tomorrow morning before dawn is where we could see some additional rounds of strong to severe weather that will push through. It clears out by tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow actually will turn very beautiful, but very windy through the second half of the day. And that will also bring some cooler weather before we dry things out and stay on the dry side through much of next week.